Before India's states spent a single rupee on a new road, a new school, or a new hospital this year, they had already paid 5 lakh 48,000 crore rupees just in interest on old loans. That's not new spending. That's the cost of paying for yesterday. These numbers come from the CAG, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, the constitutional body that audits every rupee state governments spend. So what you're about to see isn't guesswork, and it isn't spin. It's pulled straight from India's audited government accounts. And it's not a one-time number. This bill has gone up every single year for 10 years straight. In 2015, states paid about 2 lakh crore in interest. Today, that's more than 5 lakh crore, a 160% jump. To put that plainly, the interest bill has more than doubled, and then some, in just a decade. Here's what that money could have actually done. 5.48 lakh crore is 1.8 times what every state in India spends on healthcare combined. It's 2.7 times what they spend on policing for 1.4 billion people. This is the real cost of old debt. It's money that never reaches a hospital, a clinic, or a police station. Now here's the twist. States did spend money on real investment this year, new roads, power infrastructure, irrigation, about 8.49 lakh crore worth. But interest alone on old debt was equivalent to 64% of that entire investment budget. Two separate bills, but one is now nearly as large as the other. And this gap isn't closing. Remember that 160% rise in interest over the last decade? Investment grew only 104% in that same 10 years. The debt bill is outpacing the very investment it's tied to. So where does the money for that investment even come from? Almost none of it is India's states earning or saving their way there. 99.15% of every rupee raised for capital spending came from borrowing. Less than 1 rupee in 100 came from anywhere else. And more than half of that borrowed money, 55%, went straight to repaying old debt before a single rupee reached anything new. There's a basic rule every economist agrees on, the golden rule of borrowing. Borrow to invest, never to cover your running costs. In FY 2024-25, 14 Indian states broke it. In Andhra Pradesh, only 27% of new borrowing actually became investment. In Punjab, the worst in the country, just 21%. Kerala and West Bengal weren't far behind, at 43 and 38. Here's why that matters. Roads, schools, hospitals, they get built on borrowed money. That borrowed money comes with interest attached. Next year's budget has to pay that interest first, which leaves less money available, so states borrow even more to make up the gap. It's a loop. And once it starts, it feeds itself. Some states feel this loop harder than others. In Punjab, nearly 1 in every 5 rupees the state spends goes straight to interest. Haryana isn't far off, at 17%. Kerala, close to 17 as well. These are the 3 states where the trap has tightened the most. And it's not just 3 states. 8 more cross that same 10% line: West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, and Gujarat. That's 11 states total, spending more than 1/10 of their entire budget just to service old debt. If your state's on this list, drop it in the comments, and if it's not, take a guess at where it actually ranks. On the other end, only 3 states have kept this under control: Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Odisha, all under 5%. Proof that this isn't inevitable. Some states are managing to avoid the trap altogether. Now, to be fair, borrowing itself isn't the villain here. Every growing economy borrows to build roads, power grids, and irrigation systems. That's normal, even healthy. The real concern isn't that states are borrowing. It's how much of that borrowing is quietly turning into interest instead of infrastructure, and in some states, isn't building anything at all. 5 lakh 48,000 crore rupees paid in interest this year alone, rising every year for a decade and growing before a single new road gets built. This bill doesn't show up on your payslip, but it's exactly why the school, the hospital, or the road you're waiting on keeps getting delayed. If you haven't already, go back and watch episode 1, the 1.9 lakh crore rupees states spend on electricity subsidies, and the pressure that's quietly feeding this same debt cycle. And if you want the rest of this series, all 28 states, one CAG report at a time, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.